All right, we're here at Black WrestleFest. This is the Hardy Wrestling Podcast with your girl Stephanie Hardy, and I'm sitting here with another member of Welcome to the Rawrrzone. Like, it's not just one member. It's not just Michael. It's two of them.
It's two of us.
Two of them.
Two of us.
Two. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good. So what's up, everyone? It's your homegirl, Ivy, Katie, however you know me. I'm still so happy to be here. I am one half of Welcome to the Rawrrzone. We've been going 5 years strong. It had a couple of other names before this, and shout out to Michael Bostic, who has been on this journey with me.
Right. So when did you fall in love with wrestling?
So I'm of Greek descent, right? So for us, women are not allowed to watch these sports and watch fights, and we were supposed to be prim and proper, because that's how our grandparents and everyone was, So one day, I had to have been about five or six, and all I remember is seeing when you have that first time you see Stone Cold hit the beer cans together. Yeah. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I had no clue what was going on, but I saw that. I'm like, that's so cool. And then I tried to wrestle my godfather, who's also my cousin, and I kicked him in the balls. And then we had to switch your TV channel wild quick because my mom was coming back. Right. And then he was just on the floor, and I'm just sitting there, coloring. But that's when I found love.
So basically, that's a very different story than I've heard from most. It's the fact that, you weren't really allowed to. At first, and you go from not being allowed to now, it being a part of you, and you seeing all this wild stuff, and then you're repeating it. I've had that experience too. Like, I actually slapped my step grandfather, because I saw The Rock do it. Like, it was crazy. So when did you decide that you wanted to create a platform, sharing your opinions about wrestling?
So honestly, when we started out, it was under like LNK Radio, and we were under independent music platform. And originally it just became talking shit about everything, right? And then I remember when I did start watching wrestling again back in 2012, 2013, right? Because at that point, I'm 19. I'm old enough. You really can't tell me what to watch, so I'm just going to watch it anyways. So we just started randomly talking about it. And then, as Rawrrzone got bigger as a music platform, Mikey came on after like 2 or 3 years, and we started talking more shit about it, and then we started making a wrestling podcast, a supplemental podcast for it too, because we were already known as music, then let's just talk about wrestling too. And then it started blowing up, like we had Janelle and me for the first time on that podcast. We had we even spoke with Chris Rivers, who's Big Pun's son, about wrestling. Everyone's had their own different take of wrestling and how it affected them, so we just kind of keep going on from there.
Okay, it's so funny you mentioned music as a part of your show along with wrestling. So how do you think wrestling really does enhance the wrestling experience? Because I know I have a playlist of my favorite wrestling themes. So how would you say, as a music and a wrestling host, and music enhances the wrestling experience?
I mean, that's easy. Like when you see, for an example, when you watch AEW and you see either Bryan Danielson's music, you already get hype. You're still doing the yeses even though you're not supposed to, but you're still cheering them on. It's just that giant pop that you get with the music. Now, you could be a great wrestler, but if your pop, your music is not as strong as your personality, it kind of just doesn't enhance your pop when you come out. At least that's in my opinion, Because when you see Keith Lee's entrance, all you want to do is just pop and be out and mark out and have fun. I'm so used to holding the microphone. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
So it's I think music is just so essential in wrestling. It complements each other.
Yeah, they really do. Because I know one thing. Even though I know our girl Naomi is out right now, we ride for Naomi though. It's
bring back Naomi, baby.
Yeah, it's when I see her and when her entrance starts, it's that's where it's about to go down, and then the bass hits. Woo! It's over. Yeah, come on, you're ready to party. So I get that. I 100% get that. So what exactly in wrestling do you hope, can continue to improve, or what do you think is the best thing about wrestling right now?
I think right now everyone needs to work on their storylines, in my opinion. I feel like storylines lately have been really short At least maybe with AEW, because I've been watching a lot of AEW lately.
Yeah.
You know, like you see the Roman, the Happy Corbin storyline. I do wish, you know, some of the storylines in WWE could actually get cut shorter, or at least be a little more thorough.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, because it's just like when we grew up in wrestling, we felt all those stories, you know. When you had like Undertaker and you felt when he came out and all that darkness, and just like you immersed yourself as a fan. And we need to bring back the WWE Network, because Peacock is trash.
Yeah, shout out to those countries who can actually still get the WWE Network, because I really do miss it myself. Yeah, but now that I've sort of learned Peacock, I feel a little better. But I feel you though. Like Peacock was hard to get used to, so I completely understand.
It's cool because like I binge Law and Order, and I'm gonna binge Chicago PD. Like, so to get those shows are cool, but I do prefer the network, because you could just binge SmackDown if you wanted to, binge all of Raw. Everything was catered to the wrestling fan.
Right. So how do you feel being a part of something as big as Black WrestleFest on this Juneteenth weekend?
So I'm not gonna lie, being a white female in hip hop, it was very much pretty intimidating. So coming here is just like, okay, the wrestling industry is more welcoming to me than the hip hop industry at times. Like if you see like Mr. Black, he'll say it he said on Jabba, I'm the only white friend he has, you know. So it kind of just also means a lot that I am accepted here in an industry that is trying so hard to be, you know, involved. So I'm just feel honored to be here today, you know, and to get the welcoming just like everyone else did.
Well, I know I'm glad to have met you on today, because I've seen you guys, you know, on social media, on, you know, the platforms and everything. So I am happy that we did meet. So thank you so much for sitting with me at the Hardy Wrestling Podcast table.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so tell everybody where they can find you, what you got going on.
So right now we're actually working towards our, we have a community event called Give Back for Sean, and every year we raise money for the Sarcoma Foundation of America. My friend Sean passed away back in 2017 from intimal sarcoma in his heart and the bloodstream. So we go every year because it was his goal when he was dying to raise awareness. Now we're doing the same thing. We're going to events. We have our table. We're going to start posting more on social media about it. You know, we're trying to raise $10,000 for the Sarcoma Foundation. It's been our goal for a while. So year 5, we're hoping to make it.
That sounds really amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on the Hardy Wrestling Podcast. We're live at Black WrestleFest, y'all.
Hey, look at Black.